How you doing there from Area 51 Raceway? Today we're going to talk about the REVOSLOT Porsche GT1. I've got 4 of these cars. I've had these 2 for a while, which is the Pennzoil, yellow and black one, and then the blue coral Pennzoil one, which they're really beautiful cars. And I picked these up, I think it was a year and a half ago. I didn't really tune them all the way I should have, and I just kind of shelved them. But since I've been really getting into the REVOSLOT brand, I've been kind of experimenting. As you saw, I did the Corvette one, and this is pretty much where I'm at right now. Is basically I got a full case of cars of REVOSLOT. So this last one right here, this one here, pretty much fills the case. So that tells you how much I've been buying cars, and just over a period of time. Now I need to get another case because I will eventually buy more REVOSLOT cars. So what I wanted to do is the tuning video on the GT1, because just want everybody to understand that these cars are very, very fun once you get them tuned real nicely, just like the poly car. Though out of the box these do run decent, but they're a little noisy, and they react a little weird sometimes depending on from each car to the next, the different types. But this car is really fantastic when you get it tuned nicely and you get them to run real good, and they're super cool. And man, they remind me, I don't know, they remind me of Top Gun a little, because they look like fighter jets the way they sit and everything. And but I just wanted to do a tune video and just show you how I tune these, and you guys, like I said, could take it from there. I'm no Tom Cruise of racing, but I do love to do some tuning videos and just show everybody, if for their home track, Carrera plastic or wood, scale electric or whatnot, whatever kind of track you have, polycar, scale auto now, and if you have an Inco, these cars could be tuned to run on all surfaces. For this particular track, I've tuned them for wood, but I think if you were to take these to a plastic track, they would do just as well. So without further ado, let's go over the bench, and I'll show you what I do with these cars so you can get them, to race real nice and have fun with them. So let's head over to the bench. Hey babe, have you seen my flight suit? I gotta go. Okay, here we're at the bench, because I said I was going to throw it on the track, but I went ahead and wanted to check the gear mesh. So I take this car and everything's loose. This is what I mean. These cars, you have to check them. Even this motor feels like it's coming off here, because you can put your thumb right in here, which that's not a good thing. So we're going to take it apart and check everything, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. When you deal with these cars, it's always best to check it. If I threw this on the track, I would have shredded the gear, and then, if you do this on your own, you'd get pissed off because you'd be blaming the manufacturer, which in a way, it is a manufacturing thing. It's because somebody on the line didn't pay attention to this, or it came loose during the container, who knows. But
stop whining.
These cars do have to be looked at before you put them on the track, and it's really super important. These right here, these have where you pull the body off, but on this car, these have to come out because there's no, how would you say,
nice going.
Dump the car all over the place. I'm trying not to hit the camera. These don't have the little slot in it to where you can pull the body off. So when you take the rears off, take them off completely, and then just loosen these. And I'm not a fan of this too much, but I'm doing it to make it to show of ease. And pull that apart and move it off to the side. Now we're going to see everything is completely loose on this motor, so this is pretty bad. And this is what I'm talking about. If you get this car, you throw it on the track, you're going to be pretty pissed off, mainly at yourself if you're a hobbyist. If you're a first-time buyer or customer, please be warned, check these. It's worth checking everything. I mean, that's a disaster right there. Strip gear, and you have to return it to the dealer and wait for another car, or order a part, or you get mad and make a video and rant about how this happened. So to prevent that, always take these cars apart. Any slot car, in my opinion, like NSR, slot it sideways, REVOSLOT, take them apart and look at them, because you got to oil them anyway, and it's good to do an inspection. And what I'm going to do is get this all straightened out, and then we'll put this on the track after I set the, tighten everything up, oil it and lube it, and set the gear mesh so you could hear it.
But wait, there's more.
Okay, here's another problem. See how far in that pinion gear is? It's not really putting a lot of contact. on that that pinion gear. So you can see how, I mean, that's barely on there. So what we'll have to do is, there's a shim here, so it's got the shim, but what we'll have to do is we'll have to pull this pinion gear out a little bit, because we want it more like the other cars, which are about here, more toward the inside of here, not on the very outside, but about a couple half a millimeter in, I'm gonna guess. But you know, that's one of these things you have to do with these cars. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my gear puller and just pull out a tad bit until I'm happy where this, you know, spur gear is gonna sit on the pinion. So give me a moment. Okay, and now I got everything set, the mesh, and this is how the car came. Besides all the loose bits that I had to do, and then I had to reposition the pinion gear to pull it up, because the spur gear was barely touching the outer part of the pinion, you know, the very end of it almost, as you saw previously. And all I did is just extend the braids out a little bit. I didn't really fluff them up too much. They're pretty thin, and this has got the spring guide, and this is the standard REVOSLOT guide. So we're going to put it on the track. You're going to hear it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the mic, but I want you to hear this car as it goes around the track. No tuning at all, just greasing and checking, make sure everything's tight, and oiling, and that's it. So let me pull the mic so you can hear it. Right, there's no microphone. It's just you can hear the car go down the track on its own. Here you go. That's how you hear that car right there. Okay. Now this is, again, one out of the box. Now I'm going to give you a car that I tuned. Well, let's get the other one. Excuse me. We're going to get the other one that I ordered. This is the newest, latest one, so that's the other edition of it. And this one's tuned. And I've got this all set. Changed the guide, changed the braid, adjusted the float, gave it a little body float. I have Mozetti silicone washers on the top pan to the chassis, and then the body as well on the back only, and no, on the front and back, excuse me. And these tires are G25 tires, not the standard short tires. And one thing I've also done is, you can see here, which I'll show you, there's a gap there, because as this moves around, we want to clear that. And what's happening, as you're going to see with this car, is how close that is, and you start putting body float, this starts interfering. So you're going to listen to this car and hear the difference going down the track. Okay, now you've heard the difference between the two, and this is where I'm getting at. If you're happy with the noise, and I'm not saying you have to tune it. This is totally up to you what you want to do. If you don't want to tune it, then run with the car the way it is, and have fun with it, because it's all about having fun. But if you want it to perform like this, where it's a little bit quieter and it seems to roll nice freely, and just you could tell the way this car flows compared to this one, there is a big difference. But though you'll have to do some modifications to this car, and it also involves a Dremel. So if you're very skittish about cutting stuff or grinding stuff down, then I recommend just leaving the car and just riding it the way it is. But if you are interested, on the next video I'll tell you what I do with this, and I'm just using this as a teaser so to get people interested. So leave me in the comments there if you want to see what I did with this car to make it just a little bit more enjoyable. For me, it's more enjoyable because it's more quieter. It seems to run smoother compared to this one. But it's just to show people that you can do some work on these cars and they really ride nicely, besides just taking them out of the package. Again, as I stated, you always have to check these cars when you take them apart, because you'll find surprises like I did there. They don't always come out that way, but again, if you're not equipped to, you know, be a slot car tuner, or, you know, have the tools, or you don't want to spend money on the tools, then I suggest you just leave the car the way it is. Obviously check all that. You'll have to buy a gear puller if you run into that, or send it back to the dealer and tell them there's a problem and get another car. But if you're happy with the way it is by doing a little gear mesh adjustment, you know, no body float, no chassis float, you know, like I put into mine, and not changing the tires, and then run the car, and I'll leave, you know, cool. It's whatever your comfort zone is. So I hope you enjoyed this first part of the video. On the next one, I'll show you what I do with this car in particular to make it sound, you know, nice and handle nice, and just really more enjoyable to drive. As always, you guys take care and have fun racing.